without further ado, though, I'm here in the booth with Karanum of the Golden Sun Lost Age Randomizer. How are you doing today, Kara?
Hello, I am excited to see today's race.
And I see bingo. It was a bingo race the whole time.
Yep, surprise.
Oh, it's even better. Because Golden Sun is one of my favorite games. So when I saw this was on the stream, I was like, okay, I want this host's stream just for the sake of I have an excuse to be watching the whole thing.
It is honestly such a good game. Probably one of the best Game Boy Advance games.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just love it so much. Actually, is only Lost Age randomized, or are both of them available?
There is a randomizer for the first Golden Sun, but that game is a little harder to randomize because of it.
The story aspects of it being very pinholed into what it needs to do.
It's a very linear game, yeah. Whereas with the Lost Age, you get the ship and everything just is immediately open to you.
Oh yeah. Because I remember finishing the first Golden Sun and being very disappointed that 2 lighthouses were lit. I was like, wait, what? Hold on. And then getting the second one, it's like, oh wait, now we're lighting them? Oh! It's such a good story. I'd recommend playing it vanilla, but I would also recommend the randomizer, because I imagine we're going to have a great time here.
Oh yeah, definitely. The interesting thing about this randomizer, it is not very combat focused. It is very much about the routing and the execution and the glitches and such. So if that's something you're interested in, yeah. So, I mean, I'm a little biased being the developer, but I think it's a very nice randomizer to play.
Oh, I get to ask dev questions? Oh, we're in. So, do we know what colors our 2 people are going to be for this bingo board, so those can be potentially added to the layout?
Yes, I believe Pokemario's son, I'm just going to call him Pokey for short, that's going to be a lot easier. He is green, and Crimson is red.
Alright. And it looks like they're off in terms of the timer, so... Yay, I get to see my name on that, Jenna. I know what I did.
Nice.
Yeah, it's because if I recall, I've seen like 1 or 2 speedruns of this, and like Jenna's like the main speedrun character, right? Because she gets like a bunch of really powerful spells for just punching through bosses. Or I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Jenna is pretty nice because she gets the she's the character in this game who gets the main AoE heal.
Ah. Well, I made a good choice then.
Oh, it looks like Pokey has some issues with the connector lib script.
Mercury Gen to start. Is that always a Mercury Gen? It's been a while since I played Lost Age. I only got to play it like once, and it was when it came out on the Wii U virtual store. It took me a while to remember the Wii U.
Yeah, normally that's a Venus Ginny.
Yeah, I figured it was a Venus Gen. It's always Venus to start. And immediate ship? Oh my.
Yeah, so that's a nice thing about the randomizer. It changes retreat to work as teleport in the overworld. So you can just immediately just fast travel anywhere. And because they start with the ship unlocked, the ship teleports with you. So they leave Dyla, teleport to Dyla, and then the ship's there, they just take it.
That's beautiful. Because I haven't diving deep into Final Fantasy Randomizer, obviously being part of this community, but yeah. I have my soft spot. I know what my secret JRPG love is. And I make no secret of it.
Interestingly enough, it looks like both of them have a fairly similar start.
So what would you label the skill level of our 2 runners?
That's a tough question. I know Pokemario's Pokey is definitely the more experienced Rando player. He's been playing it the longest. Crimson isn't that far behind. I feel Crimson is a little more. I need to remember because I haven't had enough time to watch this recently, so I don't remember which of the 2 was better at glitches. This is really bad of me to say.
And it's because I know, like I said, I've seen a speedrun or 2, so I know there are some glitches, specifically with like the wind area. I know there was a lot there, but that's about all I can kind of remember. It's been I don't see a lot of people speedrunning this game, because even the speedrun tends to take a couple of hours, and people don't have time for that.
Yeah, actually, in recent years, the speedrun has dropped in time dramatically. With, I think it was last year that they finally found not quite ACE for this game, but close enough in Ayers Rock. Ayers Rock is deliciously broken.
I like deliciously broken.
Yep. So I think the gist is they take Cyclone in there, they do some really weird stuff, and then they can just set memory flags, and then they just set the game to think that the rock to the eastern, the western sea is gone, and once they enter Prox, they immediately get the ending cutscene.
So are there any, like, how to refer to it, like, limited glitches, like ones that aren't allowed for races and such?
Yeah, so the aforementioned ACE isn't allowed.
Yeah, I figured at least that much.
It's a little broken, yeah. Other than that, it's a bit contentious. There's something called death storage that some people think it should be allowed, some people think it shouldn't. It's kind of hard to set up correctly, so I'm not entirely sure what they've decided on for this race. So I guess we'll see.
Well, you'll have to explain it when we see it, because I doubt. I mean, I'm gonna know a little bit that something's wrong, but most of our viewers, I imagine, might not actually know, and I'm always very interested to find out about this stuff.
I'll do my best.
I believe in you.
So yeah, it looks like both runners went to Treasure Isle, and there they found the little turtle. And since they started with Mind Read, they can now do Islet Cave. And it looks like, yeah, both of them are going to do this.
I remember riding on that turtle. Stand on, little friend. He's friend-shaped.
Yeah, sadly that entire animation gets skipped with cutscene skip, but yeah,
I mean, you gotta go fast.
Yeah, exactly. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting some PTSD of the rolling logs. That's a first Venus Gin for column 4, row 1. And just a reminder, as we're getting started and, waiting on a couple of cutscenes that weren't skipped out, we are here in support of the Liam Foundation, a charity whom, while I may not live in Illinois, still means a lot to me, just as, an LGBT member of this community. Having the access to that kind of support really goes a long way in terms of just, helping to keep a community alive, thriving, and just safe. It's one of those things that a lot of us take for granted, and the fact that we are able to be here helping for that, it means a lot to me and to everyone who receives it on their end over at the Liam Foundation.
Alright, so looks like the Venus Ginny was Quartz, which
sadly isn't the normal first one?
Sorry, again?
Isn't he the normal first one? Or maybe I'm...
No, that's Echo, I think. It's either Echo or Flint. One of them is for Golden Sun 1, the other is for Golden Sun 2.
Flint is Golden Sun 1, I know Flint.
Alright, yeah, that is Echo, yeah. And yeah, they got doused, so yeah, Crimson immediately is going to Apoche to unlock Aqua Rock. So we're actually going to see something very interesting here. The randomizer allows you to use retreat in towns, and the cutscene that unlocks Aqua Rock temporarily moves you to Aqua Rock, which sets your retreat pointer there. So Crimson is now retreating, and he'll end up in Aqua Rock in a second.
Beautiful.
Yep, there he is.
Man, so many memories just flooding back. Again, I just wanted to be hosed on this. It's so good. Let me see. So is it single line, double line, blackout? What are our runners aiming for to pull out a win on this race?
For this randomizer, it is single line.
All right. So which
And
lines do you think they'll go for?
that's a really good question. I think it's hard to say this early on because most of the lines have something that is very luck based. So I guess we have to see what items they get. Oh, we're seeing a retreat glitch from Crimson where he
Yeah, just walk a
unloads.
little off screen. It's fine.
Yep, unloading the loading zones on the ladders.
It looks like Crimson's also trying to get an encounter.
Yep, that's to disable the retreat glitch mode. Otherwise, if he falls down the waterfall, the loading zone is still gone, so he'll just be trapped at the bottom of the screen.
The gay baby jail.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I'm stuck watching a version of this where I cannot hear the music, but it's playing in my head. It's just so ingrained that I'm seeing it just like da 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 da, da. And I'm just like, oh yes, yes. Ugh, I could not be happier that this made it into the marathon.
The music in this game is so good as well.
It's so good. Because I think I heard someone doing the battle theme in like Acapelago, or yeah, that's what the poppy voice thing is. It's Acapelago groups. I heard someone doing the main battle theme in Acapelago, and oh my god, it just like I just sat there and listened to it for like 30 minutes on loop. It was it's so good. Whee! Oh, they don't want a nut? I like nut.
That's you know what, I'm not gonna comment on that.
No comment on the nut. Just like 300 health, but granted, they're good runners. They're probably going to be avoiding combats for the most time. Like, I don't see anything other than like potentially the Jin that's going to super ask for combat, at least in this area.
Yep, exactly. It's well, this area. Let's see, because I'm just taking a quick look at the board. I'm not seeing one that requires an enemy from Aqua Rock. So yeah, they'll probably won't be taking any encounters here other than the one for disabling retreat glitch earlier.
I was gonna say the chat calling out my English that it is an a cappella group. There is no go. That wins. They get a gold star. And yes, I might be thinking about the fact that I have to announce the next big Archipelago async tomorrow, because I do run those for the Final Fantasy community. Feel free to come on by. We do love it. It obviously won't be starting until after the marathon, like the actual async, but I will start collecting all of the stuff for that tomorrow. So if you're here for the marathon, look for that announcement if Archipelago is something you enjoy.
That is exciting. I'll be checking that out for sure.
Ooh.
Oh, there's Burst. That's a really nice synergy too.
It's one of the few that are done with an item. No, he fell in the hole. Crimson, no.
Yeah, there's a way to actually get the item without moving that that block in the way, but it is finicky. I'm pretty sure it's sub-pixel perfect.
Yeah, it do happen. You say, if I recall, Burst's the one you have to use for the fiery area in this one.
Yeah, Magma Rock. It's also to get some items in Tundaria, and you need it to repair the ship in Alhafra.
Right, yeah, because you gotta... yeah, see, my brain's like, what was in Lost Age and not the original? Because, again, I owned the original on actual Game Boy. I actually got it on a trip to Quebec, so I did not leave my hotel room. Everyone's like, oh man, all the students, you need to go do stuff, and I'm just like, but Golden Sun.
Yeah, I never actually owned the first game myself. I actually learned through it from a friend who actually had the cartridge, and then I got the second game because I just liked it so much.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, it just makes me sad that Dark Dawn is a game that exists, but is not a great one.
Yeah, it's okay, but it has its flaws, and I think the biggest flaw is there not being a sequel. Aside from the points of no return, I feel were the most annoying. Oh, we're seeing some very nice menu buffering there from Pokey
Ooh.
with the ice blocks, because the game runs on a timer,
Uh-huh.
and the timer. Let's see, gotta say this right. The timer pauses while a menu is open, but the blocks still move.
Huh.
So if you open your menu just as the block starts moving and keep it open until the block stops moving, you just get an extra bit of time to jump across.
Gonna say this guy's girlfriend's a little bit stiff.
Yeah. Alright, I just noticed we're seeing some route divergence here. Crimson is checking some more Sphere Zero checks with Dakin Plateau, and Pokey seems to be following the thread of Burst, which gives him exactly one item in Tundaria Tower. So if this is nothing, this is a long walk.
Ooh, so we're basically seeing, is it going to be worth it to try to follow that potential complexity progression, or is there more to find in Sphere Zero to point us in different ways?
Yep, and I secretly know the answer because I fed at this seed, but you know.
Oh.
My lips are sealed.
Ah, no spoilers for us, chat. That said, I mean, we don't need spoilers. We got donos. There was a $10 donation between things from Ace Deuce. There is no comment with it, but we do appreciate it nonetheless. We do appreciate every dollar that we raise here for the Liam Foundation. And hey, that's $10 closer to our first milestone. So what all is randomized is a question, because I know a lot about this game, so I can like piece together the bits of it. We have like shop randomization. I mean, we clearly have Jin randomization because their first one was a Mercury.
Yep, there's pretty much every item can be randomized, including hidden items in pots, but that is an optional setting that most people won't be running with because that's a lot of locations to remember. And Poke just found Whirlwind in Tundaria, so the gamble checked out, you know?
Hey, never punished.
But yeah, items, artifacts in shop are randomized. That as well. Let's see what else. There's honestly so much that can be randomized. Classes are character elements are randomized.
Ooh.
Class synergy is randomized.
Ah.
There is a setting to shuffle around the elemental resistance tables for enemies.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot. I'm gonna have to like check this out when I'm done. I'm never gonna have time for a full run or to learn anything, but I'm gonna have to check it out just because I love it so much. Whirlwind huge. We lack the muscle power to move a couple of leaves. We need to use psychic powers. And get a Fujin shield.
Pokey just found Grind as well, so that opens up the Western Sea as well as the latter half of Treasure Isle and Lemuria. So that is a lot of checks that open up for him right now.
And that shield is one of our bingo squares. I imagine because it's a single line, it's not lockout or anything like that. They can go for the same line.
Yeah, no, it's not lockout. They can go for the same line.
I say, does the Golden Sun community have different kinds or different bingo races like that where they do try different things, or is it generally just one line?
I know people have tried lockout, but they said it wasn't. It didn't feel quite right, so that's not something that has been done since. There are also some other runners trying different variants, such as I believe doing 5 lines for just a slightly longer run.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like if people are interested, they should probably check out the Golden Sun community and, try out some of these races. Worst case scenario, you'll learn.
Yeah, for sure. We're still a very small community of in terms of racing, so we always welcome more people.
Yeah. I mean, Golden Sun's always been like, small cult title more than massive. And you know what? I still love it for it.
Exactly. Alright, so Crimson is also heading to Tenaria Tower to pick up that whirlwind. Pokey is entering Lemuria, which has 2 item checks, which isn't a lot, but it might be something. And it also allows him to check the inside of the Lemurian ship.
And I was going to say, does he have everything needed to get that Jin? Because it could be a matter of going for column 5 as well.
For that, he's going to need Tremor and Cyclone, and I don't think he has that yet.
I didn't see it. I was going to say, the FFR community definitely throwing in their suggestions for bingo with the classic double anti-bingo, where your opponent picks one line you have to finish, and you can pick any other second line to do yourself, but you got to get both lines before you're done.
That is very nice, but we do have some very mean bingo objectives from the board that include defeating bosses, and, well, as I mentioned earlier, the randomizer isn't very combat heavy, so bosses can be really, really tricky.
That sounds like fun to me. I'm a sadist. I'm all about really dumb stuff.
As someone who once finished a race on defeating Moapa, yeah, I feel that.
Oh no, the metal coin. I remember save scumming the heck out of this.
There's actually a very consistent setup for getting it into the center.
I wasn't even getting into the center because I think it was I had to bounce it off of so many to get all of the rewards that were available from it. It was.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. If you want any of the other items, good luck.
Yeah, I just want thing in the center. Everything is okay. Well, save scum time. So the advantage of playing on the Wii U, you get save states. The disadvantage, you don't get access to a link cable even if you own 2. You do have to manually put in all 50 pages of the passwords.
Yep. Alright, so we actually saw something interesting on Pokey's side just now. He talked to King Hydros, and he is one of the 5 hint NPCs that the randomizer added.
Hey, we like those.
It gave him a hint for grind.
Oh.
Which is a bit unfortunate.
Hey, you know where grind was? I don't know. I used it to get here. Do I need this? I mean, Hydros was always kind of a jerk. It makes sense that he wouldn't give you anything useful.
Yeah, just a fun little bug in the hint system. It tries to give you a hint that is at least 1 sphere further than where you're at, but sometimes it just decides not to.
I mean, it has to be better than Link's Awakening hints, which 90% of the time I go to one of the hint owls and it's just like, there's sand in Yarna Desert. And I'm like, yay. Useful. Is it back to Treasure Cave, it looks like.
Yep, looks like both runners are fairly consistently doing the same thing. Crimson did check Decon Plateau earlier, which might have given him something. I did notice. But it looks like they're both following the same logic thread, so we'll see where that takes them.
See all the cute animations in this. Ah, they just go so hard.
There are so many animations as well.
I was gonna say I got an important revelation that has been foreseen to me by the Dark Moon. We are only $143 away from breaking a total of 20 grand raised across all of our FFR marathons combined. That is a very big milestone. It's actually on par with the grant that Liam Foundation recently received in order to help providing their resources and such, especially for racial healing and that. So the fact that we would be able to reach that mark in terms of, helping them and helping the others that we have, I think we've worked with the Burn Children's Fund is one that I know. I actually don't know anything from before that, just because that's new. Summer has been for the Liam Foundation, and we raised plenty for them, and I am all for it. I don't think y'all want to hear me shield. Y'all want to watch Golden Sun.
On that note, Pokey just grabbed Cyclone, so that brings him one synergy closer to getting that Lemuria Ginny objective.
And then, how bad are the other objectives on that one? Obtaining 2 keys doesn't seem too bad, because if I recall, there's a lot of keys scattered about. Well, I imagine they're randomized, aren't they? Instead of being locked to the place that they're actually useful.
There's in fact 3 keys in total, so 2 out of those need to be found.
Oof.
Which is the Ruin key for the Madra Catacombs, and then the red and blue key for Jupiter Lighthouse.
Yeah. So we basically are in a position where we don't know anything about what our 2 runners are going to go for their bingo line. They grabbed the Fusion Shield because it was on the way, but it's not guaranteed to be something that they actively pursue for their final bingo.
No, indeed. And this is pretty consistent with how these races usually go. Usually the first half an hour, 45 minutes is really just following logic threads, gathering information, and just seeing what items you get.
Say sounds about right for most bingos I know.
Looks like they are both headed to the Western Sea, and I am very curious what checks they're going to make here, because the Western Sea routing is a bit awkward.
Well, grabbing a Jin was clearly on the list.
Yep, that is one of those Ginny that if you don't grab it then, there's just not a good time to grab it ever again.
And it's Aroma. That's the one that, if I recall Aroma, it's the Venus, or not Venus, but Jupiter Jin that heals status conditions? There were so many of them.
I would have to check. I don't know. I don't know all of them by heart.
We'll find out when they use them. Restores PP for whole party. Alright, I was close. I was close. I wasn't anywhere near close.
I am going to respond to something that Kari said earlier in chat, though. Yeah, these guys both hate Ayers Rock, I'm pretty sure. Which is sad, because I adore Ayers Rock, because just how broken it is. You can just do so many weird glitches there.
Everything's better when it's broken. I'm on Team Broken.
I agree.
I don't speedrun the games I speedrun for the sake of them being, complete experiences. I speedrun them because they have the best broken glitches. I say I really should start Ocarina of Time.
Yep, seeing another very sensible check from Crimson. That is also one of those just out of the way locations that you just completely forget about. And it's pound, so that works out,
Mm-hmm. Whereas Poke just found themselves a potion. Lots of good healing, but we don't need it. Combat's not necessary. Or not as necessary.
Nope, if it's not a vial, these guys really don't want it.
So I know I was prone to wasting a lot of synergy stones. It's like, I need my magic back. Let me heal everyone first. It'll be fine. It's actually... I've had dual randomizers on the mind lately between, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and, Link to the Past, Super Metroid, and things like that. I wonder how possible it would be to, fuse both Golden Suns. Probably, be a massive effort of work. But I wonder what the possibility is.
Yeah, that's a particularly tricky one because both of these games... Actually, I'm not
Are
sure about the first
huge.
game, but The Lost Age uses up a lot of its ROM space, so there's not a lot of space to put anything else. I know there have been some initiatives from the Golden Sun hacking community to create a merged version of the games.
Ooh.
So maybe if that ever goes anywhere, then a randomizer for that might be might be happening.
Ooh. I mean, if it ever happens, someone message me and subtly hand me a copy. I will stream that. I will not hesitate to just throw that on my schedule.
We saw a nice little trick from Pokey there. Normally, you need Lash to get to the items in the upper screen of Kibumbo Mountains, but he did some retreat glitches that allowed him to, skip that. But it didn't lead to anything useful, sadly.
We retreat away from vanilla logic. We only glitch in this house. Oh no. Because if I recall with the Djinns correctly, it's basically if you find them in a dungeon, they will always fight you, and if you find them in a town, they're like, "Oh, hey, no, it's fine. Come on, let's hang out."
Yep, that is the rule of thumb. I believe there's
Maybe
one or
that'll
two
fight you
that
anyway.
break that.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say that it's the ones that are in Shaman Village because there's something weird going on with those with those maps.
Yeah, and I think there are a couple in dungeons where they're behind a massive puzzle, and the game's like, "No, just have it."
Trying to think, but no, only the Golden Sun 1 Reserve Djinn, like Canadian pointed out, they also joined me out of the fight. Looks like Crimson is going after King Scorpion, so that's another... Yeah. I'm gonna say a risky play because it's a lot of time investment for one item.
But hey, we've seen one risky play so off. Will we see two?
That's a very good point.
I was gonna say, people who know me well enough know my motto: never punished. So let's see it.
At the very least, they all start at level 18 in the randomizer, so this is gonna be a much easier fight than if you were to do it vanilla.
Oh yeah, I remember him causing me problems when I was on my first playthrough, and it's like, how he's so mean. I keep getting poisoned.
Speaking of which, you just got poisoned on Crimson screen.
No! Of course I would get poisoned.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, good thing I have a Roma who doesn't heal status. See Crimson checking it. Crimson thinking like I would. Like, a Roma definitely heals status conditions.
Close enough. Oh, I actually missed what Crimson got.
It was orange looking. A vial, apparently.
All right, 1 out of 3 vials then. That's pretty good.
Oh, hold on, let me get the poison voice on. If donations, we need an antidote.
Very nice, very convincing.
Yes, very convincing. I definitely have been grabbed for acting once or twice. No, I haven't. Well, actually, technically, I have been asked a couple of times. Oh. I'm gonna say my lovely voice is available on at least one advertisement on the OJ Power Hour, another lovely Final Fantasy randomizer program that we have on the weekly basis. We have so much that we do. These marathons are massive, and I love them, but they're just a small part of all the stuff we have going on. Did he just try to when you change your
He did.
keys? Lupa? Lupa indeed. Yeah.
Well, there's Pokey trying to grind the pound pillar, so, you know.
Well, as long as it's both of them.
Everything is in balance.
This ain't just a reminder, we can't see it on the screen right now, but there is a lovely donation prize for one of the lucky donators today. I believe it's above a certain amount donated. I don't remember entirely. I didn't have time to do my research this morning. I think it's anyone who donates today beyond a certain point has a chance, but it's a lovely, I believe it's stitched version of all of the Final Fantasy heroes, their promotions, and all of the associated orbs. A lot of time and effort went into it, and it will be a lovely wall piece and talking point for your lovely house guests that you definitely have because you are so popular, you donating machine. You get to talk about that and the fact that you donated to a lovely charity in the Liam Foundation. It'll be great.
All right, here we have our second hint NPC for the players,
And an apple.
what's it gonna be? All right, there's one key item in Gaia Rock.
We don't know which one it is, but it's there.
Yup.
Man, these hint NPCs really are kind of lazy.
They can be useful sometimes.
Sometimes trademark. There was a $30 total daily donation for today's prize drawing. So I'm halfway there. I say we got Poke gonna get that vial as well from here.
I'm just going to say there is a surprising lack of divergence in their routes, considering how open Sphere Zero is.
Well, I mean, that could just be the sign of them both being good runners, knowing what's fairly quick to grab and what's going to, net them where they need to go. I was about to ask, was he about to clip the remove block? And the answer was no, and I was disappointed.
There is a move clip, but not on that one. No, that one's just to pull the stump on top of yourself because of weird collision.
I was gonna say, speaking of donations, we just got one in for $10 from Anonymous. I'm always happy to help spread the love. And I'm very happy to see it. So thank you, Anonymous. I salute thee. This is a maze you have to... Oh, just a smoke bomb?
Yep, nothing good. But yeah, that maze is one of the 3 puzzles in the game, whose layout is determined by what you name Felix.
Ah.
The other ones being the puzzle at the top of Kabomba statue and the room layout in Trial Road.
Huh. So when I named them Maddie, because of course I did. Actually, it was not at the time, because it was a little bit pre-transition while I was playing through this the last time. So I had the name Maddie for Felix, but the original Isaac was still Isaac, because that was the name I was using at the time. Fun trans facts to go with our trans-supporting charity. I forget how I'd name them again, because now I go with Isabel for that particular name. That's it. Looks like Poke grabbed those 3 vials, so how bad's the rest of that diagonal line there?
Well, the blue dragon enemy, that one's tricky, but they already have access to Islet Cave, so once they find teleport, they can actually do that. Otherwise, they're going to need, let's see, hover to get into Jupiter Lighthouse.
And then, from what I know of, have someone be a ninja that's base Earth with fire or Mars and Jupiter gens in a favoring Jupiter direction, if I recall correctly.
Let's see. It is 3 Mars and 3 Jupiter on a Venus adept, or alternatively 3 Venus and 3 Jupiter on a Mars adept.
Ah.
So the main issue with that is that they're going to need to collect a lot of Jin to actually get 6 Jin on one character.
Oh yeah, even with their party of 3 right now, they need at least 18.
Yep, as long as they don't pick up Pierce, that is relatively doable. So we might actually see them doing that. Then the only thing that really remains is the Fireband or Soulblade, which they haven't found yet. So,
and that's one of those random 1 in a million checks, technically.
Yep. Since they've agreed on that, there's actually a static Soulblade in Air's Rock, because Air's Rock once again is very broken.
Yeah.
They've actually agreed that that one does not count for the objective, so that would have been a very easy one, but sadly, nope, that's not going to work out for them.
I mean, as chat has determined, they both hate Air's Rock, so...
Yep.
Because I gotta give Camelot so much credit for like all of the love and attention that actually went into this. Because I mean, even having your main character never saying a word and just like expressing via the occasional bubble of, you know, emotion. There's just so much that they managed to squeeze into these games. And I mean, low-key, if I had the time and effort, I would definitely try to like make sprites to have any main character or any member of the party be able to be the first slot. But again, as you mentioned, they're using every bit of RAM they could just to finish the game.
Yep, and like I mentioned offhand before, Felix has a lot of animations.
He does, so many.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that was the key item in Gaia Rock, the Trainer's Whip, which
just makes you a different class.
Yep, not what Crimson was looking for.
Yeah, it's a cool class though.
Yep, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. Oh, right, these. Oh.
Crimson has accepted his fate and is now doing Air's Rock.
Yeah, okay, maybe I also don't like Air's Rock. The moment I saw that puzzle, I just had horrible PTSD.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. The glitches here, you skip so much of this dungeon, as you'll see in just a moment.
And there's another Venus Djinn for that column. No. That poor friend, he was friend-shaped. Granted, all Djinn are friend-shaped.
And some of them you're so mean to.
Yeah, I know, right? Just bully them into a corner, like, hey, help. He's like, no, I'm friend-shaped. Oh, I should get a, like, Venus Djinn tattoo.
I have actually been considering the same, so that's, yeah. Oh yeah, that's an objective for Pokey.
So that was something. I don't remember if it was in the Game Boy versions or if it was from Dark Dawn, but like all of the Djinn had like very subtle differences of like the shapes of their ears and like tail things to actually help identify them as different things.
Yep, that was definitely one of the best features of Dark Dawn.
Yeah, they're cute. They have options. Worst feature of Dark Dawn being the cliffhanger ending. And are we far out from any glitches in air that we should be concerned about? Or should I take some time just to shill our lovely charity a little bit?
We just completely skipped over one big one that let Crimson skip the entire first room.
Oh.
And he's actually coming up to the second one, which is the blind climb, where you use retreat glitch to remove the loading zone of a ladder. And for some reason, the two maps are joined together. Crimson is not doing it, so that's fair. It means you have time, so go ahead.
All right. So I just wanted to, remind us that we're here in support of the Liam Foundation. Their, mission to encourage, assist, heal, and empower our LGBTQIA community through respect, advocacy, and passionate hearts to promote thriving in their society down there in Illinois, Rockford. The entire thing was started, after Liam's death in 2018. They were started in 2015. My bad. I still fail at years and assume that no time has passed. But after 2018, Phyllis went on to just do all of this, and they've been working year after year. They've got their new facility, which has been amazing. It opened June of last year, or so. Honestly, I believe that was what we were helping with last year with our support. We ended up raising a little over $3,000, if I recall correctly. The exact number I can pull up in a quick second here. Due to being our grand total for Summer Marathon was $5,114. So since then, they've had their new location and they've been using it for all sorts of things. It's had increased foot traffic and all that, and they've been able to help as many people as possible, and that is huge. Especially the one that really strikes out for me was the one of support groups for the trans and non-binary adults, as well as an adult, peer, and queer teen meetup and support groups, because the surrounding individuals for any, trans, LGBT individual, it's always a rough time. I even remember with my parents having a little bit of a stumbling block, especially with the new name and such, and having access to, other people you can go to who can help you have that kind of a conversation and can help to educate the people in your life to, accept you and, learn from them instead of it being just kind of the oppressive almost you against the world that it can feel like at the time. It really means a lot and goes a long way. So every dollar that we can get to help them, it means a lot to me as much as it means to them. And I see Crimson's getting into Air Rock.
Yep, he's getting into interior, which means there's more glitches inbound because he's going to be just skipping around the place.
Yeah, I didn't like exterior. I remember interior being pretty okay.
Well, he did lose some time by not doing the blind climb, so if Pokey does manage to do the blind climb, if he does Airs Rock, then that's a chance for him to catch up a bit.
Oh yes, lovely co-host Binks, I can hear you. Gonna say Binks is disappointed that we can't pet cats in Golden Sun.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. Oh, all we can do is make friends with Jin. They are friend-shaped. Oh, I know. Everything's terrible, isn't it? Come say hi to the people.
Alright, Crimson is resetting his retreat point, which means he is going to do the second half of the interior now. Will we see him pull the Soul Blade out of the rock?
He's going higher and higher.
Oh, Pokey has some issues grabbing onto that pillar the right way.
Yeah, it's gonna be like just at the right space for you to be able to do it. If I recall it correctly.
Yep, exactly. I think it needs to be a bit more forward towards it. Alright, Crimson is going to pull the Soul Blade. Yep, there it is.
Hey, the fake one.
The fake one, so it doesn't count for the objective, sadly.
Yeah, it's not real.
So yeah, Crimson is now out of bounds, and he's going towards the door. That's going to just get him to the end of the dungeon immediately.
Passing a synergy star. I was gonna say, if both of our runners memorized the pattern for Liam, that was a very good call because we are very prone to naming characters Liam here when we have the Liam Foundation as our lovely charity.
I'm sadly going to have to disappoint. They're using a setting that fixes the puzzles to the name Felix.
Ah, Boo Earns. I gave them so much credit.
That would have been very good though, but sadly though.
Baited. Are there any puzzles like that tied to Isaac's name in the first one? I don't think so.
I don't think so, no. Nope, it's actually why in Golden Sun 1 speedruns, they just name Isaac I because one letter means that text goes faster. And it's why in The Lost Age, you'll see people name Felix all kind of weird stuff.
What is the fastest path? This one.
Yep.
What's your name? Fast in this language.
Yeah, Carrie in chat got one of them.
Why tilde? How do you even pronounce tilde? Why tilde tilde tilde?
Probably something like, why?
Exclamation point in any percent?
Yep, and it's been like the squinty eye emoji as well.
Oh, they're making the wings.
Air's Rock is really nothing good so far.
I say very briefly punished. I was gonna say that's another thing that, like, don't get me wrong, I like the Beast people in Golden Sun Dark Dawn, but the fact that it's just like, oh yeah, they always existed is just one of those things of like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm an author now, so I know I gotta, like, watch out for those.
It's definitely one of those things where it's like, oh, there's so many new towns now, and then so much history that we've never heard about. It's like, okay, yeah, okay.
And then Alex has been alive the whole time. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure you died, right? Also, everyone's immortal for reasons. Oh, we're behind a ladder. I'm guessing your glitch is going on.
Oh yeah, no, it's using the retreat glitch to teleport into this room, but being on the wrong graphics layer. It's a really fun one. I'm not sure if you noticed the whirlwind heads that spit the whirlwind. There was just a stretched out one just outside the room.
Oh dear. That's a long boy.
And yeah, that was Lift.
So all of that for Lift, which, you know, Lift's good.
It's progression. It's a couple checks. It's
But is it a couple of bingo squares?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is the question. It's the one I'm asking for sure. The Jin southwest is a square. Column 4, row 5.
Yep, that is true.
Yep, that would require defeating Moappa and company. And that's a lot.
Alternatively, they could do column 4, but that's gonna require teleport and reveal.
Yeah. Granted, at this point, if they get reveal, it would add some. It would do column 1, row 5, as I brain my way through that, because they just need mind read and reveal, and they already have mind read. So that would just increase the let's just do bottom row at that point.
Yep, that is true as well.
It's one of those things. It's definitely how I play bingo as well. It's like, how many goals do I get just by doing the thing I would normally do? And then, okay, is there an ending in sight?
Oh, a Canadian in chat very aptly pointing out that you no longer need reveal for Uncle Ruins because of a new glitch that was discovered recently.
Oh, that sounds fun.
But on the other hand, I'm not sure if the runners know it well enough to try it in a race yet, so we'll see.
If they do it, you'll have to let me know.
Oh, there's some dark matter for forging, so that's column 2, row 4.
And they already have bursts. If they get arch, that'd be another good one. Keys is going to be the hardest one on that one then.
Yep, although they will also need carry for the Angara Cavern.
Ooh, there's another Venus Jin. He's a freebie. He's a friend.
Yep, and I think that makes column 4 pretty...
Hey, it's Flint!
Oh, it's Flint, hello!
Hey, it's our best boy. No wonder he was so friendly.
Yeah, Flint does talk the most, that is true.
He does. Flint, my man. Oh, okay, now they're getting angry.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. The other one is actually one of the reserve Jin if you don't transfer over from Golden Sun 1.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've used that term. I've seen that feature. So reserve Jin if you don't transfer them. I'm guessing that there's so many Jin that are only in Golden Sun 1 and get put into like a random location in Lost Age if they're not transferred.
Yep, there's actually in the vanilla game as well. There's one in a vanilla game. There's one Jinny of each element.
Yeah.
That is put somewhere in the world if you haven't transferred them over, or if you don't have 7 Jin from that element from the first game.
Yeah.
And so what the randomizer does, it actually puts all of the 6 other Jin from each element onto the reunion party. So when you get them, you just get a whole burst of Jin all at once.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but then it also keeps the reserve Jin slots. Just so there's a bit more randomization, just so you can get a bit more Jin without having to do the whole Jupiter Lighthouse thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Crimson trying to do Magma Rock, but he's not gonna get far without growth there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got an Earth adept, right?
Yep, but all of
the number of Jin he has, he might be able to shuffle it around to get growth.
All of the utility synergy that comes from classes has been removed.
Oh,
so we can't do that. And
no, my dreams.
I'm just looking over at Poki's side, and he's doing the blind climb that I tried to describe earlier.
Yay! It's so blind. It's so climb.
It is actually it's so weird because you just have to navigate 2 rooms without being able to see anything.
You gotta imagine that he's trying to climb Karan's hats, because Karan's, I think, the next host on, and he is a fan of his stacking hats as we get more donations. So if you don't like donating to me because I've done something to wrong you in some way, because why would you not donate for me? I'm beautiful and vain. But if you love some good donos, you gotta get Karant onto those hats.
Looks like PokeStream is having some issues, but he has successfully done the blind climb.
Just that little bit of crispy pixels.
So yeah, for those who don't know, normally for that room it has this fog that if you go try and climb up the ladder, it puts you back at the bottom. So you have to go all the way around to move this stump, go all the way back, and then use whirlwind on the stone. So with the blind climb, you actually kind of go around the room, and you can move the stump without having to go all the way around in that big room before.
We're getting the picture by picture Poke Mario Sun. It's just screenshots that we're taking along the way. There we go. All caught up. I'm saying, what was here in wind?
It was just lift all the way at the end.
Yeah, so necessary, especially with how much Crimson's been doing with it. Jalfra!
I am trying to think, but I'm not sure Crimson actually has found anything good with lift yet, so...
I think the dark matter was found, but that was about it. So far, anyway.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, Crimson's gonna fight Briggs. I mean, he has all of the synergy required to repair the ship, so it might be worth it.
Gonna catch these hands! Oh, that's, Cause like, why am I in the first slot taking all these heavy hits? Hear me out, I think I'm getting bullied.
And that's normally you want to put all of the tanky characters in the middle, because if they then get hit by AoEs, you know, they take the most damage, but you know.
Yeah. Because I never stopped to consider that. I was always just like, first slot always gets hit for reasons.
Oh yeah, it's actually such a trap because by default the two squishiest characters are in the middle.
Yeah. At least in 2. In 1, they put the squishy characters on the end.
Yeah, that is true, but it still means Ivan just dies most of the time.
It does mean poor Ivan dies all the time. Because I actually remember in the last big playthrough I did, I put all of the cursed gear on Garrett. Not because I don't like Garrett, but just because it's just like, it's all so good. If you just put it all on one person, you never have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what are you doing? Like, cursed axe, cursed armor, cursed the... Nobody likes Garrett, it's fine. He is I mean, he would drink the stagnant water. We all know he would. But I mean, when Felix and Isaac get like Excalibur and the Gaia Blade, like, come on. You guys... Piers and Garrett, we're just like, we have 2 melees already.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Crimson did breaks, but he's not repairing the ship. So he's just gonna check the backside of Gondwan Cliffs.
Just taking another peek around. Does look like we have a donation. You think I'm gonna have time, or is anything cool gonna happen?
No, I think I have some time.
All right, so we've got Classic Gamer 76 with a $30 donation. Would I try to force a white mage on Fizzle? Okay, yes I would. But this time, I'm forcing a war mech on him instead. This is towards a required war mech in Shuffler Trio tonight, and I owe Darkmoon for making a pun earlier. So hear me out, chat. Y'all get to get that secret host knowledge. If you make a pun, you can send it to Darkmoon for $10 to the charity. So if you donate $10, you can just send him puns. And the worse they are, the worse he's gonna feel. So if you want to torture Darkmoon, send $10 and throw some puns at him.
That sounds like good value.
Yeah, it's a great value. I mean, I'm paid up on my puns. I get to do them anyway.
So, Crimson just found the magma ball, so that means Prox is open to him.
I think this is the 5th or 6th Venus Gin over on Crimson's side, because I've seen quite a few of them at this point.
I haven't kept count, but we'll see.
The question is, has Crimson kept count? The answer so far seems to be no. He has 4, okay. I was close. I was off by 1.
Alright, pretty good Gondwan Cliffs. 2 progression items.
And again, that Venus Gin, just towards that 1 goal. And actually, I think that's enough for 3 Gin per person now in that party. Might even be more. I haven't paid that much attention lately.
Crimson definitely seems to be heading towards Loho to turn in that magma ball.
I mean, do you think Felix's gloves are resistant to that kind of heat? Like, just how do they carry the magma ball? They can't use the cool pouches for the elemental stars. They gotta use, like, their hands or, like, a bag, and it's a ball of magma. That's hot.
Yeah, that can't be good.
Always remember your OSHA safety magma ball handling gloves. Gonna say calling reveal in Mars. Canadian, you willing to put money on that? If it's not in Mars, $15 to the charity. Oh.
There's the 5th Venus Gin for Crimson. And
Hey.
Crimson, it looks like he realized he missed a goal because he just marked befriending the genie in South Attica. Alright, I'm getting mixed up. He just marked the goal for befriending the genie in Southwest Attica Island.
Ah. I mean, it
Just
could
a
be
just a bit of a tongue twister.
Could be Acapella or Acapella Island if we're gonna screw up A words today. Is this how far away would be a Phoenix type enemy and getting to the top of Ankol Ruins then?
It's difficult because both of those are technically random because, for Uncle they still need sand. I don't think they've gotten sand yet. And for
I haven't
Phoenix they
seen
need teleports, so, Although, with the knowledge I have, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. That's all I'm gonna say.
You can fight a Phoenix in Magma Rock, apparently, so it's just literally the one. Sand is go mode for Crimson, technically.
That is a very good point as well, yeah.
I mean, I've heard that the map needs more sand.
Yep, that's a good point in chat. The Phoenix doesn't like to show itself, and I feel especially the Magma Rock one tends to be pretty rare.
Goodness, so what other Phoenix-type enemies could they pick from?
There is a variant that is in Mars Lighthouse, which technically Crimson has access to.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the way there right now.
Yep, that is true. Getting a hint about the Black Crystal. That doesn't really help much, sadly.
Now, imagine finding sand here in Mars Lighthouse.
That would be incredible for Crimson. But he found force, so that's,
That's also good.
another progression item.
And just a reminder, as we, round out having about 35-ish minutes left on, our estimate for this one, that the Binding of Isaac has a current bid war for whether they go with regular or tainted Isaac. So, just a couple of bucks, you can pick which of those Isaacs gets to go forth, because they don't get this Isaac. He's the best Isaac. Actually, what is our Isaac named right now? That's, Prim. So, Crimson is the best Isaac, and they can't have him, so... Yes, I gotta know how the cheeky move strats work.
So, the colliders for those pillars are round.
Okay.
Even though everything is tile-based, those colliders are round. And for some reason, that means that there's a bit of leeway in the game checking whether you can move something towards you. And so if you just hit that sweet spot, you can just move the pillar on top of you. And in some cases, you can even use that to actually trick the game to thinking you're standing on top of the pillar.
Ah. Man, I'm looking at all this lack of equipment on all these characters, and I'm like, pain. But I mean, if it's not combat oriented, they don't need it.
Nope, exactly. And Crimson is selling items to Forge the Dark Matter.
Alright, so hear me out, chat. Which member of the party do you have carry the Mars Star? Or I guess the Elemental Stars in this one, because it's not the Mars Star specifically in Lost Age. Felix? See, I was always a fan of giving it to, the Elemental who would use it. So Garrett carried my Mars Star. And then, I don't remember who I gave it to in the second one. Whoever has more space, that is the correct answer.
Yep. Practically, that is, yeah.
I always ended up swapping it out of Felix because he was the tankiest, so I tended to give him a couple of the revive items in case my team went down. Here's the mule. Yeah, he comes out of nowhere in this game. It's Felix's quest.
Pokey is finally doing some more Sphere Zero checks.
Do we know what he missed from those?
Apparently Frost.
Apparently Frost.
That's big because that opens up a lot.
Oh, yeah. If he finds sand, it's even better. That was the big kind of change between regular Golden Sun and Lost Age, was the fact that the rocks specifically were like, okay, this particular adept can learn a permanent synergy instead of it being all item-based or class-based. I just thought it was kind of interesting, but also, like, why wasn't it in regular Golden Sun? I was sad.
Yeah, there was only one instance, which was Ivan learning Reveal from Hama.
Yeah. Which made sense. Like, don't get me wrong, learning it from somebody else makes some good sense. But then, the whole thing with the rocks was like, it just threw me for a loop when I was first playing Lost Age. Like, wait, I have permanent synergies? What's this?
Yep, it is cool though.
It is so cool.
Yep, Pokey is immediately taking Frosta and just going every check he can think of.
Going on a frosty adventure. Remember to hydrate, chat. Oh, hey. That's a key?
That's key number 1, I believe.
Yeah. It's a key item.
That is actually the hint that hint NPCs will give you. It has confused more than 0 people.
More than 0, less than all of them.
Yep.
Slurp, slurp, slurp it up. Oh yeah, Serac. I remember that name being like, what's this in reference to? I don't get it.
Honestly, I still don't know.
Yeah. Because like all of them have names that are generally like based on something to do with their particular element. Serac was just like, it's Serac. Okay. The synchronized teleport amuses me.
It's so pleasing. It's aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I almost wonder. I know for PlayStation, BizHawk recently got like an update that you could run it with an 8 megabyte core instead of the original PlayStation core, so it was significantly more powerful, and you can get some of the speed eat up or get some of the slowdown to stop. But I almost wonder, like, how much of Golden Sun's slowdown is just part of the charm, like. Especially in combat, like just that like extra little bit of slowdown that happens with all the particle effects from the hit.
Yeah,
It
just
adds impact.
Dramatic flair. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Poison death.
Alright, for the people in chat, apparently Serac is a block or column of glacial ice.
Ah.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Now we know, and I'll forget by tomorrow. say Crimson picking up that Frost, so they're both within the same sphere again, but Crimson's still got a lot of goals on Poke right now.
Yep, that is true. But, you know, Poke being slightly ahead in the logic might actually give him an edge in the long run. We don't know.
It's true.
It's honestly anyone's game.
Yeah, such is the case with Bingo.
And looking at the goals, all of the goals that Crimson has are goals that Poke can do. He just needs to sink time into it. So it's the question of, you know, does he want to do them now? Is he gonna wait for them to, you know, potentially become a line?
Oh man, I remember first doing these puzzles with like the layered bricks and such, because there was none of that in Golden Sun 1. It was all into, and it's just like, oh no, 3D thinking? Help. I am a child.
Yep, same.
To say, at least I was old enough to read by the time I got to Golden Sun. Poor little baby me with Link's Awakening for the first time. Like, I don't know what a Pole's voice is. I don't even know what these letters are in this combination.
Oof, yeah.
I'm like 6 years old. Help. Gonna say, chat calling you out, Kara, when you're gonna hack the Switch so that you can play and stream Golden Sun on it.
Oh man, that is not my wheelhouse. Don't look at me for that.
I say, Golden Sun was just added to the expansion pass options, wasn't it?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The expansion pass is so expensive here in Canada. I can't justify it, especially when the N64 emulator barely works. And I own the Sega Master Collections.
Yeah, I was
like,
just in Canada though.
Yeah, it's like $70 a year. It's insane. I'm like, why? This is like more than double.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not worth the price, especially for how little I get to play Switch anymore. Gonna say J-Shack calling out our terrible economy. Yeah. It's really dumb expensive for what you actually get.
It's really a shame because a lot of these old games are super good, but yeah.
I mean, I bought Golden Sun, you know, Virtual Console on the Wii U when it came out, like, the first day. I wouldn't even hesitate. It's just a matter of, like, there's a difference between buying a game for, you know, $5, $10 and spending the equivalent of 110 over the course of 2 years to play it for once.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows me knows I'm not a fan of subscriptions. Woo!
Canadian. I don't think Poke can check the cow because he doesn't have sand yet.
And
Sand
if they
is-
had sand.
Yes, sand is pretty much the only thing they need for Go mode, so.
Have they checked the
It's
cow?
madness.
Why would they? And if only that was really how water physics worked. Instead of knocking that pillar over and increasing pressure and... Ugh. hip hopping over, and as they do, remember there is a massive donation prize for today. A lovely stitched up aspect of the various Final Fantasy 1 heroes and their promotions, as well as all of the orbs. It's a lovely composition made by one of our very own, and that is a $30 donation over the course of today, so plenty of time if that's something that would interest you. A chance to win that, as well as, again, all of the lovely donation incentives we have going on.
It is interesting because I'm just seeing Pokey retread some old ground that we've seen from Crimson, and I hadn't actually realized how many places Pokey hadn't checked yet.
Yeah. I mean, such as what those 3 goals really show.
Looks like we're gonna see a attempt at a move clip from Crimson.
Ooh.
Oh no, he's just pushing them for the puzzle.
Aww. I think I've seen that move clip in the speedrun. It's where they like push it into themselves, then it like pops them to the top of it because the game doesn't quite know where to put them.
Yep, exactly, and it sadly only works in this room and not the other one with the much bigger puzzle, because of the way the game internally handles those rooms.
Ah.
It's too bad because the other room would have had much more of a time gain from that.
Apparently Poke has Scoop. Do you remember where that was, Kuro? Or, you have the spoiler log, so you would know where that is?
Okay, yeah, I know.
He knows, Chad.
He did a nice little glitch in Yampi Desert that lets him check a chest that normally requires reveal.
Ah. Well, now we know, and knowing is half the battle. I think statistically speaking, Poke has the most progression, but Crimson has the most goals. And has found those 3 specific Jin, as well as learned one of those 2 summons. So this got tighter significantly quickly.
Yep, absolutely. Still, most of the goals are goals that the other person has knowledge of, at least, or they should have knowledge of. So, I think it's really just a matter of time. How much time do they want to invest into these goals?
Mm-hmm. Truly pick your poison of bingo. What was that item to the far there? It looked silvery and thin.
Yep, that was one of the prongs, and if he hasn't picked it up, then he's betting on Avimander not having any progression luck behind it.
I mean, I wouldn't blame that.
Oh, absolutely not, especially not when you're this far into the race.
Yeah. I'm going to say with about 20 minutes left on estimate, Cora, who do you think has the best shot right now? Can you tell which lines they're potentially going for?
I think they're really just still trying to set up, which is really rough this late into the seed. I'm not sure if a line is going to happen before time.
Ooh. So what will we do, at time then? We probably can afford them a couple of minutes, but we want to call it like most goals done or something?
Yep, I think that's customary for that, so.
Sounds good.
I'm wondering if at some point soon they'll actually switch over just getting those goals out just to have the most goals when time ends.
Hey, never hurts.
Although then another question becomes, are they keeping track of time? Are they aware that they are running close to the limit?
Who knows? Mystery hands. Crim appears to be setting up a puzzle.
Yep, and sadly you can't glitch through that one.
Don't ask for much in life, but it's the ability to glitch puzzles, and we don't get it today.
Yep, looks like Pokey is indeed getting all of the forge goals out there, so I think he's definitely switching into the I gotta do as much as possible in the time left.
Yeah. Never a bad thing to change up your plans. Go with what you think you can. Oh, that's a second key.
There's the second key, yeah.
Which means Park and the summoned habit from Angara would be aligned.
Oh yeah, Crimson hasn't actually checked the red key in Dyla, so he only has that one key.
Oh, that's pain.
Oh, but he has found teleport, so that is... that helps get the blue dragon enemy.
And Poke found reveal. I
That
only
is-
know because I see the bingo goal.
I think that is big.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. The pupper had it. You must give him pets, but we cannot pet him. I must pet, but I cannot.
What a shame.
Can't pet dog, 3 out of 10. I could never give Golden Sun a 0. Now, actually, how hard would Moapa and Company be for Poke at this point? As Crimson grabs their second key.
Well, I'm pretty sure he has Shade, so he does have some defensive options. Moapa is one of those bosses that, you know, hits hard, but if you can weather the storm for a bit, you know, he's not too bad. But yeah, that does require a Shaman's Rod, and I don't think they found that yet.
Ah. So there's really some rough goals here.
Yep, that's going to be another goal for Poke soon, and Crimson is trying his luck with Jupiter Lighthouse.
Wait, did it say Shiba had no usable synergy? Is it just okay? No, there has to be battle ones. I just keep forgetting that all of the usable ones are removed and made into items.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
Sucked into the whirlhole. Guess I've got a meditation rod, but it's no shaman's rod.
Nope, and it looks like Pokey's also forgetting to mark that goal. Because that is the Tremor bit chest. Oh no, he's marked it after all.
There we go. So how hard are those corners then? It's have someone be a ninja, which is way too many Jin. Yeah, never mind. I don't need to answer that anymore. Ooh, column 2 though. No, that's the blue dragon. We already mentioned that was hard.
Well, it's tricky, but definitely possible because actually, no, it's Crimson who has teleport because he needs teleport for that.
Yep.
Or technically sand, but you know, then we wouldn't be having this conversation in the first place.
Oh yeah, if there was sand, it's rough course and gets everywhere, but
Yep, exactly. Then column 4 would be much more appealing. Actually, I think blue dragons can spawn anywhere in Jupiter, right? I keep just tunneling in. I'm like, oh yeah, the blue dragons are in Islet Cave, but they're also in Jupiter Lighthouse, so that is technically an option.
Interesting. Man, that be a ninja on the corner cutting 3 lines off by needing like 18 Jin. That's a rough one.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I wonder how many they've collected because, you know, there are still a couple of overworld Jin that are up for grabs.
Oh yeah, they got 5 Venus Jin. We know that much. I haven't seen them collect too many Jupiter Jins. Is the thing. There's been a few Mars, but not that many Jupiter. Maybe 1 or 2, which would only mean 1 more if there's enough overworld Jin to check.
I think if Pokey manages to find either teleport, which we know where it is, or sand somewhere we don't know yet, then he can do column 2. So I think Pokey having reveal, which Kimchi now has as well. So
It's a rough call.
no, wait, that's it. Crimson has teleport.
Ooh.
If Crimson remembers that he knows where Flora is, he's got column 2. He's got column 2.
Ooh.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have scoop because Pokey got it with a logic
With a
break.
cheeky reveal scheme.
Then again, scoop is also hidden behind reveal. So if Crimson is checking everything thoroughly with reveal, he's Oh, Pokey found the fire bands. He's got the center cell.
Oh my. Which opens up that other diagonal line. There's so many things.
And row 3 as well.
That said, they'd still need sand for that Ankle ruins. Ankle. It's fine.
Yep, but at this point, both players technically have a line that they can get bingo with. So the question is, do you keep searching for sand or do you just focus on the line that you can get?
It's true.
Pokey is going for the Lemuria Genie, so I think he has realized that row 3 is open to him.
Ooh. Well, let's see. It's a race.
Crimson also seems to be going for the Dancing Idol pedestal, so yeah, both of these players have realized that they can win with what they currently got.
Ooh, all right then. That being the case, I think we'll give him the time to do it. I've been informed this is actually one of the first few times that this randomizer has been show off. Any cool things you want to say, Kuro, while we, await the anticipated moment?
You're kind of putting me on the spot here with that.
Oh, always. That's what I'm here for.
That is completely fair. Yeah, no, the randomizer is. Well, I think it's about 3-4 years old now, and we're finally just starting to grow our racing community. So if people are interested, we always welcome more people.
Ooh. I was gonna say, like I said, if I had time, I got like 3 other randomizers to keep track of. But I might end up picking it up as something casual every now and again. Maybe I'll make it like a big points incentive on my channel or something. We'll play Golden Sun Rando for rupees.
It's a bit of a chunky randomizer to get into casually. I mean, depending on if you go for Doom Dragon, you're probably looking at like a 3-hour, 4-hour run.
Ooh. I was gonna say, like I said, I'm a sadist. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, no, me too. That's why I made it to be this way,
I mean, we do what we love, and sometimes we make other people do what we love, and they don't like it. Because I remember that I've legally done the last LADX weekly seed, because I put flags on there that no one wanted after that.
Oof.
Yeah, 1-hit KO with no sword. So, have fun. Here's your Bow Wow. You gotta wait for him to attack as you're dodging Moldorm. I remember the look on Luckwurst's face. It was great. Worth it for that alone.
Sometimes that's just fun, just to make completely insane things and just seeing people just in complete disbelief, like, huh?
Oh yeah, it's why I have to be careful of what I tell chat I'm willing to do, because otherwise they will take my words seriously and make me do really crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
Yeah. Because we get a sneak peek of that on Sunday, so if you've enjoyed my lovely voice so far, I got to run on Sunday, and there's the bingo race for FFR tomorrow. We got so much on the schedule to do and enjoy. Like I said, we got incentives, got Binding of Isaac coming up. If someone just donates a couple of dollars, they can decide that one. If not, Vaxanadu could really use that clown vomit randomization. I mean palette randomization that definitely won't be clown vomit. But those right up on the next docket once we get around to swapping our peeps over. Because sadly, I'll be leaving with the crew. It'll be sad. More sand. We're surrounded by sand.
Interestingly, Crimson walking right past the reveal chest, so I'm not sure if he already grabbed it or not.
Oh. My co-host has rejoined me. Say hello to everyone, Binks. Because they're running right past Scoop, but when you got a goal in mind, I don't think you care.
Nope, but that does make me wonder what goal he has in mind.
It's a good question.
Yep, if Crimson doesn't have the reveal chest on his tracker, then he might be at a loss of what to do right now.
Oh dear.
Meanwhile, Pokey about to grab his second to last goal, so depending on how cooperative the Phoenix decides to be, that's maybe 10 minutes off.
We'll see.
So I'm not sure how much time we got left. So you know,
We can get at least a bit. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted.
sounds like a plan. Okay, it looks like Crimson has found Scoop, considering he is in procs and probably there to pick up Flora.
And then just which comes first, a dragon or a phoenix?
This might actually be where we might see a bit of an upturn, because like I mentioned before, the Phoenix in Magma Rock tends to be pretty rare.
Rare phoenix versus less rare dragon. That said, Poke did just pick up teleport earlier, so it could be that he swaps off that.
No, it looks like he's setting up in Magma Rock.
I mean, if you're here. Here we go.
Oh, Crimson going for Jupiter Lighthouse for the dragons. That's interesting.
Ooh, double rare. And the hard resets out of the fights. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yep, because a hard reset actually resets the battle random number. The game uses 2 random numbers, by the way, which ensures that your first encounter will always be in attacks first.
I see we have a cat co-host very much enjoying his pets.
So cute.
Yeah. Binks is a fan of the cheeks. You gotta get his cheeks. Like just the ridge above his eyes. It's 2 favorite spots.
Okay, Crimson also doing his setup, so we'll see who gets the encounter first.
Ooh. We'll see. Oh, hold on. Bread! I've been meaning to let out that howl. Keeps telling me that too.
Oh, there's a
That's
blue dragon for
dragon.
Crimson.
Oh, it's a dodgy boy. Throwing things at it. Good shot of Flint. No, I'm down. Help.
Oh, that's no.
And there's the dragon down. And
There
that
it
is
is.
Crimson taking that race.
That was very close.
Oh, yeah. Like, it felt like Poke had it for most of that, but then it was just the rarity of the Phoenix.
Yep, it's like I said, Pokey actually was very ahead of Logic, but then he just started, you know... It's fair, he doesn't know what's in this text, but he started doing a lot of the checks that Crimson was doing.
Yeah. That said, it looks like Poke's put it down. We've accepted the win on Crimson. And we've got more stuff to get to. So, any last words you want to add in there, Kara, before we start handing things off?
Yeah, if you want to try out the randomizer, then it's gs2randomizer.com, as you'll find with the chat command. And if you want to chat, we're over in the Golden Sun speedrunning community Discord.
All right, and there's that link there in chat. It was lovely to see this being a close race. It was super exciting to see. I know, like I said, if I find the time, I'm going to make sure that I come check out a lot of this Golden Sun randomizer. It's right up my alley, considering my love of the game. And I thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to be host on this one, because I was super excited to see it. That said, we have our next hosts to hand off to, so I will bid you adieu until I'm needed tomorrow for other things. And hopefully you enjoy the next run that we have going on, which will be Binding of Isaac Randomizer.